Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a quick beer review. Time for some Treehouse. And this beer kind of makes me want to punch somebody in the face. Courtesy of my man Brian. I appreciate you, sir. This is Smooth Creamsicle. And this is essentially Julius with freeze-dried bananas and vanilla. We're fucking putting bananas in beer now. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why does this beer exist? I don't know. But I want to drink it. So, per the label, 6.8% American IPA. I reviewed King Creamsicle, and I wasn't a fan of it. I loved the nose of the beer. It smelled rad, but it was overly just like grassy and bitter to me. It just didn't work well. But I think people love that beer, so maybe it's just me. I don't know. Little Team Old IPA. I am hashtag Team Old IPA. This was canned on September 17th. Today is October 23rd. So just over a month in the can. It might actually do the beer well. I've said it for a while now. I've been enjoying Treehouse beer with some age on them. So into the Treehouse glass, because you guys know beer tastes better in proper glassware. I love Julius. Julius is one of the beers that got me into Treehouse. Green is what made me fall in love with Treehouse back in 2015. It's crazy, that was 6 years ago. And Julius was such a good beer. I haven't had actual Julius in a long, long time. So I visited Munson in 2016, and I was fortunate enough to get, when I was there, it's funny because they only had Haze and Julius in cans, and it was 6 per person. And I got fresh, like same day can Julius, and drank it at the hotel that night, and that beer was so good. So let's get in this one. I can smell it from here. It smells awesome. It is that Treehouse Haze. It is glowing. It's that pineapple-y kind of orange juice. A good finger and a half of fluffy bright white head. Tight, compact bubbles. It is marshmallowy. You could take a spoon and scoop that bitch out of that glass. So let's go ahead and shove our fat nose in it. See what it smells like. This legitimately smells like when you used to walk into Orange Julius. That's what it smells like. Holy fuck, this beer smells. I mean, this is taking me back to being a kid, and it's getting all in my feelings right now. There's so much vanilla and orange, and like it smells like vanilla ice cream with orange juice. It doesn't smell like beer. It doesn't smell like Julius. It doesn't smell like an IPA. It literally smells like, I mean, I can't give you any other like notes besides if you were a kid of the 80s. I don't even know if Orange Julius is still around. I've asked. I don't know if people have answered, but if you remember what it smelled like when you walked in there, that's what this beer smells like. I'm talking shit about putting bananas in beers. It doesn't smell like banana to me, but if this beer tastes like how it smells, this might be my favorite beer of all time. Let's go and taste it. Oh, fuck, Brian. Cheers. I don't know why that was so funny. I mean, it tastes like how it smells, but there's a little bit of beer aspect to it. So my biggest problem with King Creamsicle is it was overly grassy and overly bitter. This beer doesn't go like grassy. This beer to me is very pithy. And it's crazy. This is going to sound really weird because I love IPAs that are pithy. I love grapefruity. I love super intense, dank West Coast stuff. So you would think that I loved that about this beer. I do like that about this beer, but the problem is, same thing with King Creamsicle, is that bitterness, that pithiness that's sitting on my tongue, it's taking over all the vanilla and all the banana. The vanilla is there. It's got that ice cream Orange Julius thing going on, but the bitterness and the pithiness of this is too much. If they could somehow tone that down, this beer would be unbelievable. The nose of this beer, one of my favorite, like that aroma, that nostalgia for me just hit something in my brain. I loved the way this beer smelled. And I could see myself loving how this beer tastes if it wasn't for that like bitter, zesty, pithy orange peel thing that's dominating the flavors. It's, again, I like that in beer, but in order to like have the vanilla and the bananas in this shine, that needs to be kicked down a little bit. Otherwise this beer would be crazy amazing, just because it smells and it wants to taste like it smells exactly, but it's just getting overpowered a little bit by the bitterness. But fun beer, great nose. I just wish that I could taste more of the vanilla and the bananas and the flavor of that. It's got that treehouse creamy mouthfeel. It's got that yeasty kind of bubblegummy thing. But the hops in this it's too much for the adjuncts. I mean, who brews IPAs with bananas? Like, I don't know like how you're supposed to treat IPAs with bananas in it. Vanilla can be overpowered, especially like in stouts. You know, you can get like a stout that's really roasty or very coffee forward that kind of takes away the vanilla part of a stout. I think the same thing is happening in this as an IPA. So this beer wants to be fucking great. It's just not quite there. Good beer though. Enjoyed it. This was fun to drink. So that's Smooth Creamsicle from Treehouse. Brian, I appreciate you. I can't believe how good this beer smelled. The nose of this beer was absolutely phenomenal. So did you guys have this? Let me know what you thought of it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe this can's just different than what cans you had. It's kind of crazy that this beer is over a month in the can. It's still that intensely hoppy. I figured it would have, I don't know. I kind of wish the hops would have fallen off a little bit, but they didn't. So, and again, not to say that's bad in this beer, but it's a bad part of this beer because it's taking over the adjuncts. So we'll leave it at that. So yeah, Brian, appreciate you, sir. Thanks for sharing that one. I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the view so I can bring bad news to all these